look, Pam Bondi is a fool and a coward, and she works for someone who believes himself to be a king and is an autocrat, and she has cast her lot with him. I mean, the fact is, Pam Bondi doesn't think she's the Attorney General for all the people. Pam Bondi doesn't think that she participates in a democratic process. Pam Bondi doesn't think she was at an oversight hearing. She believes that she is the personal lawyer to the president. She is there to protect him. She is there to lie for him. She is there to say whatever it is she needs to say to make him look invincible and impenetrable. And she will hurl insults, and she will say whatever it is that will please him and that she thinks she needs to do to protect him. And that is an absolute shame for democracy. It is a threat to the rule of law that she's the Attorney General. And frankly, it is something that should be a national outrage. It should be leading not just this news show, it should be leading every news show. It should not just be an offense to you, Simone, and to Alicia, and to Michael, but it should be an offense to the editors and the publishers of the New York Times and the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal and ABC and NBC and CBS News. But where is everyone in that fight? I know where you guys are. I know where I am, but where's everyone else?
Well, that begs the question, Mark, because what we witnessed today was a petulant little political hack who came prepared with Oppo research on the Democratic senators so that when she was asked a question that she knew she wasn't going to answer, she would then throw back up in their face a whole bunch of BS and noise and crap. And here's the part that bothered me, the fact that no one or very few actually reminded her where she was, what her role and responsibility was, and the fact that they have oversight over her department. Because if I'm a senator on that panel, I said, thank you, madam, we just zeroed out your budget, and you go ahead and do law enforcement. Since you work for Donald Trump, you seem to forget who appropriates your dollars. You seem to forget who got you in the job because we had to approve it here in this body. Why don't we see that kind of fight inside, even from the minorities? The minority members of the Senate, that kind of in-your-face moment where you check her and let her know, oh, babe girl, no, this is not how we have this conversation. You don't come up in this house, in this room, and show your behind the way you're showing it. Now, I think the country would then be riveted. Then you get their attention. Then you help them understand why she's the one that's out of step, not the members of the committee.
Yeah, look, you made a good point. I mean, she came with opposition research, and she came with lines she wanted to deliver, and she was going to deliver them no matter what. And Democrats on that committee had a choice, right? They could either engage in that back and forth with her and in some sense elevate it and dignify it, but on the other hand, to your point, would also show that they would not tolerate it. Or they could try to engage in this as a serious oversight hearing and try to get their questions answered. There's no right or good answer to this for what the Democrats should do. The question is, where were the Republicans? Where were the Republicans in showing any interest in having a witness that they called before their committee? After all, they have the gavel in this case. You know, you can hold the Democrats accountable when the Democrats have the gavel, but Republicans have the gavel in this hearing. And the question is, why didn't any Republicans come to say, hey, witness, you're here as an invitation to the senators, and you're going to act accordingly?
Senator Kennedy sort of like tiptoed into asking about Howard Lutnick, asking about saying that Jeffrey Epstein was the greatest blackmailer of all time. But to your point, Mark, that was the entirety of what we got from Republicans. I thought there was an interesting exchange, too, between Pam Bondi and Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, specifically around these questions of what is in the Epstein files. Take a look at what I'm calling an exchange, but it's clearly not.
There's been public reporting that Jeffrey Epstein showed people photos of President Trump with half-naked young women. The question is, did the FBI find those photographs that have been discussed publicly by a witness who claimed Jeffrey Epstein showed them to him? You don't know anything about that. Okay.
The eye roll the little nose thing, the absence of an actual answer offends me as an American whose tax dollars pay her salary, but it also offends me, Mark, on behalf of all of the very brave survivors who have come forward, who have shared their stories, who are looking for answers from their government. Why is she not willing to provide them?
Yeah, why wouldn't she even just say the answer to that is no? I mean, look, all of these Republicans wanted the Epstein files released. Okay, they all campaigned. Donald Trump campaigned. Everybody said you got to release the Epstein files. For years and years, they got to release the Epstein files. We know that the FBI and the Department of Justice looked through the Epstein files. That's been publicly reported. We know that Pam Bondi said she had lists on her desk, and now when she's sitting before a Senate committee, and she has the opportunity to say what's in the Epstein files, or even to deny that what the senator said might be in the Epstein files isn't, she sat quiet and she sat silent. And Mike Johnson is preventing the swearing in of a Democratic House member to prevent the release of the Epstein files. I mean, let's be honest. If there was nothing bad in the Epstein files, they sure as hell wouldn't be going to all the trouble to not release the Epstein files. So, I have always believed that there was something in the Epstein files that Donald Trump would find embarrassing. He would find, inconvenient to come out. But watching that answer, I mean, that is an attorney general who does not want to commit perjury, but does not want to say anything about the Epstein files.
Bingo.